Hello, everyone. Once again, I wanted to do a short video over the content that we covered for today's class in American literature. You should have been reading Walt Whitman and Emily Dickinson's poetry today. I thought we would kind of begin with kind of just a brief introduction of the time period. Our class begins with the year 1865, the end of the Civil War. It's a time of great change for America, and you can't really divorce American literature from American history. So we probably do need to have a little bit of a background about what was going on in the country at the time period. The Civil War, as I mentioned, had just ended. That is going to have a period of Reconstruction in the American South for about 12 years until the election of Rutherford B. Hayes brought a halt to that. You're also going to have at least an attempt at a reconciliation of the country is going to be occurring at this time. Also, a big issue that we're going to be looking at in the next few weeks is westward expansion. The country is going to be getting bigger in terms of people going to the western frontier, expanding the population of those areas, and of course, literature is going to be written by people who are in the midst of that. Um, One major thing that's going to be a part of that westward expansion, of course, will be the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad and how railroads are going to bring the country together much more than it had once been. You're also going to, during this time, have a great emphasis on capital or the money and the industrialization of this time period in the hands often of a very select few wealthy. That is going to result in one of our writers for our next class, Mark Twain, referring to the age as the Gilded Age. And of course, that's a term that will stick with this time period. There's also going to be a great trend towards urbanization, and the cities of our country would be dramatically transformed during this time period also. I was just listening to a podcast the other day, and they talked about the great shift from 1870s New York City to what would just be in existence 30 years later. For example, if you were alive in 1870s New York, there would be no electric light, there would be no automobiles, there would be lots of things. There were lots of the things that we kind of take for granted in the modern world would not exist at that time. You'd obviously have no Coca-Cola, no aspirin, no sneakers. And the tallest building in Manhattan at that time period in 1870s in Manhattan would have been a church. Um, Fast forward 30 years later, you have skyscrapers being built everywhere. You have automobiles not really taken off yet, but they have been introduced into American civilization. We're going to have them greatly impact the future of the country. Also, 30 years later, other inventions that are at least going to be in existence by that time period, you're going to have bicycles. Sneakers are now in existence. The Sears catalog, the Amazon of its day is going to be bringing products to throughout the country. Uh, Cardboard boxes wouldn't have existed in 1870. Now they're something that exists in the early 20th century. Aspirin is now going to exist. Coca-Cola, hamburgers are now going to be something that people eat. The Wright brothers would have had the airplane at this point. Kodak cameras and other, inventions are going to be occurring, like the phonograph. The early motion picture cameras are all going to be coming into existence. Another major impact besides industrialization and urbanization during this time period, you're going to have a lot of immigration. Population throughout the United States is going to dramatically explode, mostly because of immigration. And of course, the other issues that are going to be very prominent, and we're going to be seeing them in our ratings, are women's suffrage as well as the issues of race. So all of those are some of the issues that are going to be factoring into the American literature that we are about to be embarking on our journey of reading. But